To see you here.
Hello,
Hello.
Priscilla.
How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Great, great. Let me do my quick introduction. Hello, I am Priscilla. I am your conversational English coach for the hour. I hope that you will enjoy participating in this hour. It should be fun, it should be entertaining, and lots of vocabulary that you can use. I want to encourage you to use the vocabulary that you have learned in previous lessons as we discuss and talk about feedback, the breakfast of champions. Welcome, Raphael. It is so wonderful to see you here. How are you today?
Oh, thank you. I'm fine. I'm feeling happy because I know I like to practice English.
Okay, fantastic. So as you go along, enjoying practicing in English, therefore you will continue to think in English, sleep English, eat English, everything about you will be English. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pull up today's lesson, and today's lesson is going to be a topic on English, the breakfast, or it's the feedback, the food of champions. Do you consider yourself to be a champion, Raphael?
Uh, yes. I need to consider myself as a champion because
Awesome.
if you
Why?
don't see us this way, we cannot conquer
Very good.
our goals, I think.
I like that. I like that. If you don't think of yourself as a champion, then you can't conquer your goals. Those things that you do think on and reflect on will be what we can consider the conqueror. So, as humans, we do not wish to be conquered, so we are in the seat to take control. With that said, Raphael, we will start our lesson. I would like for you to start off by reading what you see on the screen. You may begin.
Okay. Feedback arrives daily in a variety, flavors, colors, or textures, and in many cases the feedback is completely free. So, what does this have to do with eating breakfast, you might ask? Let me start with my remembrance of a story from my life as if it were yesterday. Test exams were over in my most challenging class of economics. I failed both physics and economics in the same day. My physics teacher, Mr. Gamma Ray, mentioned for me to approach
Okay,
his
this word,
desk.
this is motioned.
Oh,
He
okay,
motioned.
sorry. Motioned.
Mm-hmm.
Motioned for
Mm-hmm.
me to approach his desk at the front of the room. As I approached, Mr. Gamma Ray peered over the top of his rimmed gold-framed glasses and whispered in a very low monotone, "You are a stupid boy. This is what you are. With less than 3 months,
That word
three
is
months,
that word is that. That.
ah, that is what you are. With less than 3 months remaining to finish your secondary exam, Mr. Gamma Ray continued, I am embarrassed to be known as your teacher.
Continue.
My immediate thought of Mr. Gamma Ray was, I wonder why Mr. Gamma Ray would beat a man with be, hmm, would beat a man when he's down. I just wanted to curl up and die. The headmaster of the school also offered his 2 cents worth, and said, "Young man, starting tomorrow you will meet with me to do further study. I'm too disgraced with your performance. Your participation at this prestigious university cannot be
Aban-
abandoned.
abandon. Good.
You must demonstrate that you can do much better. As a result, I expect a huge improvement. Such a poor exam performance is a reflection of the school and a blemish on your
On
philosophy,
on our.
on our.
Mhm.
Uh, without without excellent without excuses. I ran like a mad dog to my home. I was full of tears and animosity. This ridicule
Mm-hmm.
was just what the doctor ordered.
Mm-hmm.
I found the missing passion to do what I needed to compensate and overcome my challenge of study reluctance.
Good.
I was ready to hit. Can I say something before I
Sure.
continue?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
something that happens to me, and I'm trying to overcome this.
Okay.
When I'm reading
Mm-hmm.
in English, just because I'm trying to pronounce the words in the right way, sometimes I am not paying attention to what I'm reading.
Okay.
Yeah, I get what I'm reading, but
Mm-hmm.
the meaning and the story is not totally clear
Mm-hmm.
because I'm trying to read out loud
Mm-hmm.
uh, and pronouncing the words in the right way,
Mm-hmm.
just for you to know.
Okay, so what you want me to know is it's not so much that you can't read, but you want to do two things simultaneously. So let me
Yes.
give you an example of what I understand and why this is. Do you have a little brother or little sister that's a
I
little
have
bit?
I have a brother, but he's not little. He's younger, but
Okay,
he is 20 years old.
okay, well, let us give us, then that's too old. Do you know what a baby is? Like a little
Yes.
baby that sucks a pacifier or drinks from a bottle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when the baby is very, very tiny, okay, I'll come back to you. When a baby is very, very tiny, the baby only knows what the baby wants. The baby wants the parents to hold them in their arms like this. The baby doesn't want to get on the floor. The baby wants to be held for the most part, right?
Right?
When the baby realizes, oh, there's a floor and I can stand on the floor, the baby tries to stand up, right? And the baby will hold on to the table and walk around the table, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's holding himself up, but he is walking, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then the baby realizes, wait, I don't need this table. I can walk without the table. Now, this is the fun part because the baby now tries to do two things. He tries to hold himself up and he tries to walk. What does the baby do?
Oh,
He
yes,
falls
he's
down.
learning.
He falls down because he can't do two things at once, not at first. But then he keeps trying, and before you know it, it's just like, oh my gosh, if I turn around, I can hold myself and up and walk. So this is what I understand you to say. When you're reading, you're concentrating on the words and you're saying the words correctly, but you're missing the meaning. But you
Yes.
did but you're getting it right. So just as the baby eventually paired up, standing upright and walking at the same time, then he starts to run very quickly. This is what will happen with you. When you start, whichever one you choose, you can choose to concentrate on what you're reading, which will be extremely slow, really, really slow. Or you can concentrate on just getting the words out, whether you understand anything or not. That would be my suggestion is read, don't try to understand it. Just read. Your brain, what is your native language?
Portuguese.
Ah, so there is Amari. Amari and I, we just had this discussion. So I'm going to use Amari's Pinko. Do you see Amari's picture?
No?
You don't see his picture? Let me bring it up. Do you see it now?
My picture.
Do you,
Yes,
no,
yes,
Raphael, do you see Amari's picture?
yes.
You see the little dog?
Uh, what dog?
Okay, wait. Okay, you should see a dog on the screen. You don't see Amari's picture?
Yes, yes, I see it now.
Okay, do you see a dog with glasses?
It's too small.
Okay, well, he has a dog named Pinko. That's all you need to know. You don't need to see the picture. But he has a dog named Pinko. And guess what? Pinko can only speak in dog's language. He can only say woof, 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 right?
Right?
But when Amari talks to him, he understands what he says in Spanish.
Yes, it's funny.
Yeah, but it's true. But it's
Yeah,
true.
I know that.
And the interesting thing is when Pinko, his dog, is with other dogs that are saying woof, 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 he understands them too. And he also understands Amari. So how does that relate to you? When you learn how to do one thing and learn that one thing very well, you will learn two things, just like a baby will start to stop falling on the floor and hurting himself, and he will be able to walk and then run. So you need to read and talk and talk and talk in English all the time, or in a lot of your free time. And eventually you'll be able to understand what you're reading and what you're saying simultaneously at the same time.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do to leave the
Okay,
comfort zone.
okay. So today is that first day that you leave your comfort. Well, you don't want to leave you want to leave your comfort zone and find another one. And believe me that when you finish your exercise with me and you use these tips, you will be able to not only speak, think, you will be able to breathe it, sleep it, and all of your dreams will be in English. Everything that you do will be in English because you're not going to forget your native language. Do you ride a bicycle?
Yes.
Okay. When you become 50 and 60 and 70 years old, you will still be able to ride a bicycle. You may not want to, but you will never forget how to do so. So you will never forget your native language because it is a part of you. So you can just tell your native language to be quiet. You still will love it. You will still be there for it. But right now, you want to find a new love, which is going to be your English. Is that making a little bit of sense to you?
Yes, it is
Okay.
making a lot of sense.
Okay, so it doesn't matter to me that you don't understand what you're reading. I just need you to be able to say the words so that when you understand what these words mean, I need you to be able to say them and recognize them. But for now, I just need you to be able to speak the words of English. Okay? So we're
Okay.
going to go back. Now we're going to go back and you can continue reading what you don't understand. So let's start with I was ready to hit the books.
Okay. I was ready to hit the books. My mom said, "Don't lose your head over this. Do what you need to do." It was if Mr. Gamma Ray and the headmaster, Mr. Get It Done,
Hmm.
was the fire I needed to propel myself toward success. From the day forward and just 3 days of studying with Mr. Get It Done,
Hmm.
I had I had found the keys to my success. I was no longer asleep at the wheel. The final and the last day for retake exams arrived. This was my chance to put my best foot forward. I was only per I not only performed well on the second opportunity to take the test that cost me an arm and a leg, I surpassed all other students with my score.
Okay, continue.
I realized that feedback is the food of champions. Had taken. I had taken the bull by the horns. Remarkably, I now have a job with the university as a student as a study bud for
Bu-
those students
buddy,
buddy
study buddy, study
buddy
buddy. Hmm.
study buddy
Hmm.
for those students with less than stellar performance in the scientific department. I finally realized what Mr. Get It Done wanted wanted me to learn. I could not continue to be a couch potato and be successful.
Okay, good. Now, you want me to know that you read all of those and I pointed out the words that you did not pronounce correctly. You want me to know that you don't understand what you read. Is that correct?
Yes.
But I bet you do. I bet there is something that you do understand. Tell me in 15 seconds anything that you remember. Just, it could be a few words, just 15 seconds of what you remember. I'm looking at the clock, counting for 15 seconds. Start now.
I remember that it's a story about a student that failed
Mm-hmm.
maybe once or twice, I don't remember,
Okay.
but and there was somebody discouraging him,
Mm-hmm.
saying that you can't, you are a stupid
Okay,
student.
great. That's good. So that's 15 seconds of something that you remember. So if you can remember 15 seconds, as the details get bigger and bigger, you will remember 15 plus 15 more seconds. Then you will remember 5 minutes of something about this story or some other story. Right now, we're going through a process where you have to train yourself to learn how to listen, train yourself how to speak, train yourself how to read, and you will have background noise. Your mom will be calling you in the back, the dogs will be barking, the phone will be ringing, but you've got to say, I know this, I can do this in English, and I can talk to my mom, I can answer my phone, I can listen to the dog and not be distracted. But first, you have to learn how to do it in order to be able to do it. All right, so we're going to get started with additional training and find out what you remember and what you need to know. I will continue. I'll share my screen again, and we're going to go back up to the top, and we're going to talk about this story line by line. What is the title of this topic story? What is the topic story? What is the topic?
Feedback is the food of champions.
Okay, first we need to understand what is feedback. What is feedback?
Uh, is it like a response? I think it
Yes,
is.
it is like a response. It's like a response similar to what I'm giving you now. I'm giving you feedback on what you have read. I'm telling you that you can do this and you're doing a wonderful job. That is your feedback. Do you understand?
Yes.
And what is food? What is food exactly?
Food is our gasoline, is our energy. We
Yes,
need food
it
to
is.
live.
You need food to go forward, just like you need gas in your car to go from point A to point B. And then we said earlier, we are champions. You are a champion. All right? So feedback is the champion. Feedback is the food of champions. So I'm going to give you a lot of feedback today, Raphael. Why am I going to give you a lot of feedback, Raphael? Because I want you to be a champion. Raphael, why am I going to give you a lot of feedback today?
Because you want me to be a champion.
Great. Has the feedback that I have given you so far made you feel that, yes, you are going to be that champion that you know that you are?
Uh,
Have I given you any feedback today so far?
yes, yes. Especially because when you tried, when you explained the process of learning, when you
Okay.
compare the way I'm learning
Mm-hmm.
with babies.
Okay, so you see in your mind's eye, pictures doesn't have to be in any language. When you see a smile, like I see your smile on your face in your image here, that smile tells me that you, at this moment, you're happy. So a picture can come to me in many, many ways, and that is why I provide my students with lots of images to look at so they can immediately identify with the word or with
Can
the
I ask you
con.
something?
You sure can.
Because you said a peach, and I don't know this word. Can you type it?
Can I type what word?
Uh,
What I just
I'm
said?
not sure.
Okay.
Yes, pigeon.
Okay. I want you to listen and thank you
Okay.
for asking. I did not say a pension. I said a picture, a picture, a picture like a photograph or an avatar.
Oh,
Your
sorry.
picture, your picture has a smile on it. Is that your picture with a smile?
Yes, yes, it's me. I was not sure about the pronunciation of this word because I would say picture.
Okay, that's fine. And this is what conversational English is. It's the ability to listen very carefully, trying to understand what I'm saying. All native English speakers do not sound alike, just as all people who speak Spanish and Portuguese do not sound alike. Some has a very low voice, some has a very deep voice. So you have to listen very carefully. The word that I said is picture. The other thing is, Raphael, is the context of what I say. If I said your picture has a smile, there is words that are associated with what I'm talking about. What is it that I am looking at has a smile? It is a picture. So therefore, you can make the assumption, oh, she didn't say pension, she said picture, because my picture has a smile. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, now let's take a look at the first paragraph. Feedback arrives daily in a variety of flavors. Do you understand daily? What does the word daily actually mean?
It means every day.
Every day. So feedback comes every day. If you're late for work, they take money out of your check. That is your feedback, or something like that. Variety, what does variety mean?
Many types.
Very good. Many types. Feedbacks arrives daily in a variety of flavors. Flavors is what? Flavors is the same as variety, means many. Colors is more than one, so that means the same. So this word variety, the word variety, flavors, colors, textures, they all mean the same thing. They're not saying the same thing, but in the context of what we're talking about today, we could say feedback arrives in textures. Feedback arrives daily in flavors. Feedback arrives daily in colors. Okay, do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so now without really having to force yourself to do anything but read, you're seeing the meaning, but you're getting a deeper understanding of the vocabulary. And this is what you want to be able to do once you can pronounce the words, which is what I had you do at the beginning. If you can't pronounce the words, then you're not going to understand what you were reading. Now that you can pronounce the words, you have to have something that you can build on, some relevance, something that in context. I just told you that these 4 words have a lot in common. I could actually take these 4 words out and the story will still mean the same thing. I can take all of them out and it still says the same thing. Feedback arrives daily in a variety of cases. Feedback is completely free. I'm saying the same thing, but because I want the reader to find this interesting, I put a lot of words in there. All right? So I want you to know that you don't have to worry about not understanding. When you talk a lot, read a lot, you will start to understand. Now let me take a moment and say hello to Mustafa. Hello, Mustafa. How are you today?
Hello, fine.
I'm happy to
Thank
have you here, and you haven't missed very much. I was just going over some basic things with Raphael. So just continue to listen, and then I'll ask you to read in just a moment and get you to talk with us as well. All right?
Okay.
Okay, so if you'll mute your microphone again, then I will continue. So here we are, Raphael. So what does this have to do with eating breakfast, you might ask? Let me start with my remembrance of a story of my life as if it were yesterday. Test exams. Now you have to get a picture of what test exams. Your mind is going to quickly fill with pictures to help you go through an understanding of what you're reading. Every time you read something, my head is full of pictures, not so much words, but anytime that I think of an exam, when I see the word exam, oh, I think I've got to take a test. I had to study. In the context of this, if I have to take an exam and I'm sick, I know that I'm going to take an examination for the doctor. But that's not what I'm talking about. So test exams were over in my most challenging class. If you were in school and you had to take economics, you get a picture immediately of how difficult economics is. If you're good in economics, you've got a good feeling. But in this case, someone has spelled physics and economics in the same day. So this person is getting his feedback. He got his feedback because, what was his feedback actually? Raphael, what exactly was his feedback? What exactly was the feedback? What
He
exactly?
failed.
He failed. And that was his feedback. That was his feedback. But
Tough
you
day.
know, yeah, but you know he was getting feedback all along. This person was getting feedback all along when he chose to go to the movies and he didn't study, when he chose not to go to class, he was getting feedback. When every time he didn't do something, he was getting feedback. But the saddest feedback was he failed both exams,
But
right?
I think that sometimes you choose not to be aware of your feedback because you're doing something in a wrong way. I was a math teacher in high school, and I know what you mean.
hmm Yes, this is correct. If it comes easy, you don't necessarily need the feedback. If you have a teacher that will help you and hold your hand, you don't need so much feedback that will come to you negative. As long as you're coming to my as long as you come to my sessions, I'm going to be holding your hand. I'm going to hold myself accountable to make sure that you do not leave a session without learning something. Am I doing good so far?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you're giving me feedback. You're telling me that, teacher, you're doing good so far. I'm learning something. I'm able to use what you're telling me. And as a math teacher, you know, math doesn't come easily to me. And this is like, it's so abstract. I can't see it. I can't see, you know, greater than, less than on paper. I've got to actually hold something in my hand like 2 apples is greater than 1 apple. But if you just put, you know, the little symbol 5 is greater than 1, I have to understand which way is that symbol supposed to go? Is the point turning to the left or to the right? I know what to say, but sometimes I forget how to turn the angle. So I had to make myself remember to turn that angle like an L. I had to bend the L and say if the L is bent, then it means less than. I had to find a way to make it work for me. But anyway, so much for that. Now we're going to go and we're going to let Mustafa read for us. Mustafa, I would like for you to read starting here. Mustafa, could you
Yeah.
start to read, please? Could you read, please? I'll tell you when
Okay.
to stop.
Okay. Feedback arrives daily in a variety of flavors, colors, or textures, and
And that word
in
is flavors. That word is flavors. It could be flowers, but it is flavors today.
flavors
Mm-hmm.
of flavors, colors, or textures, and in many cases, the feedback is completely free. So, what does this have to do with eating breakfast, you might ask? Let me start with my remembrance of a story from my life as if it were yesterday. Test exams were over in my most challenging class of economics. I failed both physics and economics in the same day.
Okay, thank you for reading that. Are there any words in here that you do not understand, Mustafa?
Again, please.
What words are in this passage that you do not understand? Or do you understand all of the words?
Barely.
Okay, let's take a look at these words. What does the word feedback mean, Mustafa?
Uh, Feedback is a result.
That's correct. It is the result. So when I just asked you, Mustafa, what does the word feedback mean? And you said it means results. I said exactly, that is correct. I just gave you some feedback that your response is correct. That is what feedback is. Now I want you to tell me, if you look at this picture and I tell you that feedback comes in a variety of flavors, colors, and textures, it's just like eating food. It comes in a variety of things. What exactly do you see in this picture? What do you see in this picture? You see bananas. What else do you
Yes.
see? What else do you see?
Apples, me, bread, milk,
Good.
tomato.
Great. So do you see more than one thing?
Yes.
And so when we have more than one thing, we can use the word variety. The word variety means more than one thing. It means a lot of things. The word variety, we could use, when we say the word variety, we could say, let me see how many words can we think of when we say the word variety. Help me think of some words that you, when you think of variety, can you think of variety, V-A-R-I. You can think of many, you can think a lot, substantial. Can you think of any words?
No.
Multitude.
Yes.
All of those words means a lot. It's a lot of something. So you
Okay.
can build and choose and make yourself the biggest vocabulary as possible. All right? So
Okay.
that is what I want you to know. Now, if we look at this story, as we continue to look at this story, we see that feedback arrives daily. What does the word daily mean? What does the word daily mean?
Daily, it happened in the day by day.
Day by day. So every day that there is a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Yes.
it is going to happen.
Every
So
day.
every day. Daily is every day. What else is another word for daily? All the time, forever. All of those words represent daily.
Always.
Always, good. Till until the end. So now you have a picture to go with variety and a picture to go with daily, which is a part of your vocabulary that you're building. But for the sake of this story, I want you to really understand the word daily. If you were an advanced learner, then you could use some other words. But for now, it comes daily in a variety of flavors. I believe you heard me say that flavors could be the same as colors, textures. All of that is your feedback. Are you getting feedback from me, Mustafa?
Again, please.
Are you getting feedback from me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
are you understanding the feedback that you're getting
Y-
from me?
Yes.
Good. And while this may be a slow process, once you understand and you're able to listen and hear and repeat, you'll be able to pick up speed. Do you drive a car, Mustafa?
Yes.
Okay. When you first got your real license, not when you were driving and you weren't supposed to, when you got your license, did you start passing people on the highway right away? Do you know how
Mm,
you pass people who are going slow on the highway?
uh,
Are you allowed to pass people on the highway if they're going slow? Can your car get in front of theirs?
I don't understand you. Sorry.
Okay. How many people can drive on the highway at once in your country?
A lot
A
of
lot of them?
people.
Does everybody drive the same speed at the same time?
Mm,
Does
uh,
everybody, what is the speed limit? 55? 35? What is the speed limit?
Our speed limit kind of kilometers.
Okay, so how many?
120 kilometers.
So everywhere is 100 and is that the distance, the rate everybody can go anywhere in your country?
No.
Okay. Well, just
Kindly.
pick one area. Pick one area where the speed limit is whatever it is.
In the city.
How much? What's the speed? 60?
60
Okay.
kilometers.
Okay. Now listen to me very carefully.
Okay.
If the limit is 60 kilometers, do you think anyone ever goes 45 kilometers?
No, 50.
Okay, sometimes they go 50. Do you think sometimes people go 60 even though they're not supposed to? Or 65?
Maybe.
Maybe. Either they do or they don't. Does everyone obey the law?
I don't understand.
Does everyone follow the rules?
No, we are not. We are not following rules every time.
Okay, so this is what I want you to know. This is what I want you to know. If everyone doesn't follow the rules, they get to be penalized. They get a consequence. They may get a ticket. If they speed, they might get a ticket.
Turkey is not same America.
Okay.
People,
You can speed and not get a ticket?
sometimes.
Well, actually, Mustafa, we can say that for any country. Sometimes. It's either you obey the law, or you don't, or there is no law. Do you have a law, whether you obey it or not? Do you have a law that says you can speed and not be punished? Is it written that you can speed and not be punished? No, it is not. So your feedback is if the police officer says you were speeding, you're going to get a ticket. All right, but we'll move on. It's okay if you don't get it at this point. But feedback is very important. Without feedback, you do not know how to adjust what you need to do when you need to do it. Now, Raphael, I don't want to confuse you and lose you with my examples. Are you still with me and understanding, Raphael? Raphael, unmute your microphone and answer. I guess maybe he stepped away, so we will continue. Feedback, Mustafa, is free. Usually it's free, and that's why people don't want it. People don't usually want free advice or free feedback. Everybody has some, but no one wants it. Okay?
Okay.
So now we talk about, so what does it have to do with eating breakfast? If you want to be good at something, like pass your test, you need to have feedback. Do you work, Mustafa?
Sorry.
Do you have a job?
Yes.
Do you get paid?
Yes.
Okay, that is your feedback. They give you a check for doing a good job of coming into work every day. That is your feedback. Would you go to work every day if they didn't pay you?
Priscilla, please slowly.
Okay. Would you go to work every day if they did not pay you?
No.
Okay. Does your job pay you?
Yes, they pay me.
That is your feedback.
Okay, understand.
Why does your company pay you? Why do they pay you?
Because I work for they.
And you do a good job. Do you go to work every day?
Yes, I go.
So do you go to work daily?
Yes, I go work daily.
Great. And could I say, do you work all the time when you're supposed to? Yes, you
Oh,
do. Do
yes.
you work all the time when you're supposed to? And the
Yes.
answer is yes. Okay, so you can see now that daily, every day, all the time, forever, all of those words are related. And this is just what I want you to know about feedback. It's just like breakfast. If you eat breakfast, you have a good chance of doing a good job. If you have an exam coming up and you don't study, do you think you will pass the exam? No. If you don't study for the exam, you will not pass. This is
Yes.
all that this passage is trying to tell you, that if you want to be successful, you need to do what successful people are supposed to do every day. You need to do what you're supposed to do forever. You need to go to work on time. You need to stay at work until it's time for you to come home. And in the meantime, you'll be getting a lot of feedback. You'll be getting a lot of feedback. You'll be getting a paycheck, and you'll get many paychecks over time, and you get a paycheck every week, every month, or however often it is that you get paid. Okay? So
Okay.
now I'm going to come back. I'm going to discontinue the screen sharing of the text, and we're going to talk. So Mustafa, what do you enjoy doing in life? What do you have fun doing?
Mm, I enjoy spend time to our children.
You enjoy spending time with your children?
Yes.
How many children do you have?
3.
You have 3 children. Do you have 2 boys and 1 girl?
No. 2
Do
girls.
you have
2
two
girls.
girls and 1 boy?
Yes.
Okay, well, very well. How old are your children?
Uh, third, sorry, 3, 5, 20.
Wow, 3, 5, and 20?
20, sorry.
Okay, that's interesting. That's a wide spread between 3 and 20. Amazing.
Sorry, 12.
Oh, 20. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, 12. Okay.
Don't love me.
It's okay. That's all right. 12. Okay, that's okay. 12 is okay, but 20 is like, that's
Yes,
interesting.
it's
All right.
weird. It's so weird. Weird.
Okay. I understand. I understand. So, now, your children, do they speak English at all?
No,
No, not at all. This is
no.
what I want you to do today. I want you to start saying a few things to your children in English, even though they will not understand what you're saying. Do you have access to something that you can read every day in English, even if you don't understand it? Maybe on the internet, or a magazine, or a book. Do you have anything that you can practice reading?
Actually, I'm a computer engineer and I writing a program and I every day I always read the English words.
Okay. Are these reading for pleasure or for work?
Work.
Okay. I want you to find something that you can read that is not for work. And you will find that the reading that you read that is not for work, you will soon start to see some of the same words in the reading that you will do for work. The reason I want you to change to read something that is not work related, I want you to get off work. The word get off is a verbal phrase. That means I want you to stop doing something for work for 20 minutes a day. but I want you to read something in English for 20 minutes. You do not need to understand what you read, but I want you to read something for 20 minutes for 1 full week, 7 days. Read something for 20 minutes for 7 days. If you want to, you can read more than 20 minutes, but I want you to read at least 20 minutes for 7 days.
Okay.
I don't mean 5 minutes here, 3 minutes there, 2 minutes, but 20 consecutive minutes. Then I'm going to write this down too. So when you come back to me in 7 days, I want you to tell me that you read for 7 days. And then I'm going to tell you what I want you to do, the next thing that I want you to do. Or I can tell you what I want you to do, the next thing. If you do this and you do it out of order, it may not work for you, but I will tell it to you. The next 7 days, I want you to read something, and I want you to understand it, but you only need to read for 10 minutes. But in that 10 minutes that you're reading, you'll need to make yourself understand what you read, not something work-related. You may have to find pictures. You may have to look up every single word of what you're reading for 10 minutes.
Sorry.
Yes?
First week I just read.
Just read. Just read. Anything, but I want you to enjoy reading it. It
Okay.
cannot be work-related. What do you like to read? What do you like to read?
Science fiction.
Okay, what is the name of a science fiction, something that you've read lately?
I don't understand.
What have you read? What was the last thing that you read?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, find that something that you cannot remember and read it again for 20 minutes a day for 7 days. Now, if you read for 2 hours, that does not count for 3 days. Every day, you need to read for 20 minutes.
Okay.
But you can read more than 20 minutes, but not less.
Okay. Understand.
All
I
right.
see.
And then when you come back and you find me online, you want to say, "Hey, Priscilla, I read for 20 minutes." And then I will give you for 7 days.
Will you remember me?
Of course, but it won't.
Okay.
But it's not necessary for me to remember you. You just need to remember to read for 7 days.
Okay.
Okay? You're not the only one that I have given this challenge to do. And then I'll tell you what I want you to do after the 7 days. I'm going to go on vacation, so if you don't come back, whenever you find me online, just tell me that you read for 7 days. If you want to go to step 2 after the 7 days, you can have the 7 days for second step. The next 7 days, I want you to find something that you enjoy reading and read for 10 minutes. You can read the same thing over every day if you wish, but you need to read for 10 minutes. And you need to understand what you have read. So for the second 7 days, the 10 minutes that you're reading, you need to start understanding what you've read. So on day 2, if you've looked up every single word, you want to read it and say, "I know this. I know exactly what it means." You can read the same thing on day 3 for 10 minutes, but you need to know exactly what you have read and understand it for 7 days. And by that time, I'm sure you will have found me online again. Okay?
Okay.
And then
Yes.
you will have step 3. It's a 7-by-7 process. And you will see that you'll be able to speak what you know very nicely, easily, and that is the beginning of speaking excellent English. But you must follow this system and believe that it will work. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So we're coming to the top of the hour, and I'm now going to ask Raphael to give me his final words for today. Raphael, are you still with us?
Yes, sorry because I left because of my connection. It's
That's
not good.
That's fine. Raphael, final words for today.
Uh, I'd like to say that I really appreciate your class because I like the way I learned
Hmm.
with images.
And the
And
feedback.
yes, and the feedback and the variety of feedback that you gave me, and I'm trying to, I'll try to keep the words that I learned
Hmm.
from today
Hmm.
class, especially remembrance, because it's a new word to me from the text.
And the best way to do that when you go to another class, let's just say that you go to a grammar class and the teacher says something, and you will say to the teacher, you know, I'm trying to remember something that you told me, not referring to my class. You're trying to remember something that the teacher said in that session for today, but you're forcing yourself to use the word remembrance. You didn't say remembrance, you said remember, because these are word families. And eventually you'll get around to saying the remembrance of this situation is very like my talking to my pet snake or my pet gorilla or whatever you have a pet of. It's a remembrance. And then you'll start to use this word and use this word and you'll understand it. So look up the word remembrance, get your pictures together, or you can start with the word remembering. Remembering might be easier to use. And eventually you'll start seeing how you use the word remembrance as opposed to remembering. And I'm trying to get a sentence to come out in remembrance of. And let me just say, let me do what I have to do too. I have to resort to a dictionary. I don't believe that you will see this dictionary coming up, but I'm putting up a dictionary. And I'm putting in the word remembrance. And here is when you show that you want to demonstrate respect. Remembrance is usually associated with the passing of someone. So when my father died, in remembrance of my dad, every year we light a candle. We do this in remembrance of my father. But that is different than remembering what he did when I was a child. I remember the things we did. He took us to the beach, but in remembrance of my dad, every year we light a candle. So you see how I'm using the word, and I'm forcing myself to use it correctly, but I'm not necessarily concerned that I'm using it incorrectly. I just know that I want to learn how to use it, so I keep using something until eventually I got it right. In remembrance of my dad, we light a candle every year. I remember that my dad, my brothers and sisters, we did a lot of things together. At this moment, I'm remembering a lot of things. Can you remember anything that I said so far today?
Uh,
Raphael, what do you remember about what I said today? I don't want you to respond. I'm just using the word remember, remembrance, and remembering. Okay, final words. Raphael, did you finish your final words?
yes.
Okay, Mustafa, final words? Final words, please. Mustafa,
I um I have no word.
you have no final words. Well, your final words might be, I enjoyed today's class.
Yes, I enjoyed that class.
Today's class.
Today's class.
And you could also say, because I'm on daily, I want to attend your daily classes in the future. Is that not true,
Mm,
Mustafa?
mm,
Okay, you can say, I enjoyed your daily class today.
I
I,
I
I enjoyed
I
I
enjoyed
your daily class.
I enjoyed your daily class.
Yes, and that is the feedback. So this is what I need. I need feedback also. So the both of you, in the final words, you're giving me, Priscilla, feedback. Thank you very much. You guys have a nice day. Bye for
Thank
now.
you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye, Rafael.
Okay.